She's a 9/11 truther who accompanied Donald Trump to the 9/11 memorial on September 11th.
Hard to wrap your mind around that one. I'm Tommy Vietor.
I'm Brian Tyler Cohen.
And today we're going to be drafting the weirdest Republicans. This episode of Liberal Tears is brought to you by ZBiotics, the pre-alcohol probiotic, your first drink for a better tomorrow.
The weirdness of Republicans has really kind of surged into the zeitgeist lately.
Yeah, through a variety of means. Statements from Democratic elected officials, news reports.
And just Republicans' own actions
their
on
own
a daily
statements
basis.
and words. Yeah, the shit they're into. So we're excited about this one.
Let's do it. We're going to flip a coin, see who goes first.
Call in the air.
Let's go heads.
Heads it is.
All right. Tommy, I'm going to rely on recency bias here, and I'm going to choose for my first choice Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson.
I thought you were going to tan your balls.
Hey guys, Lieutenant Governor Robinson and your Republican nominee for governor as well, of course. Well, guys, the news media is at it again. My opponent is at it again. Now, let me reassure you, the things that you will see in that story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson. You know my words, you know my character, and you know that I have been completely transparent in this race and before.
I love when Mark Robinson says, you know my character, because that's the exact reason why we all would believe that he said all of the things that he said. So he was accused in a bombshell story released by CNN that he had referred to himself as a black Nazi. He said he enjoyed watching transgender pornography, referred to himself as a perv, all on these porn message boards where he's used the same screen name for decades.
I mean, listen, who doesn't just kind of wax philosophical on a porn message board? And we should say, he said he likes transgender porn while saying the most vicious anti-LGBTQ comments in his political career.
Given what we already know about Mark Robinson, it's hard to imagine anybody supporting him before, when he called for a complete abortion ban, when he attacked Martin Luther King Jr., when he mocked school shooting survivors, that anything would prevent them from voting for this guy.
The Holocaust denier.
The Holocaust denialism, yeah. I mean, it's just the whole...
gay people filth.
But, you know, he has doubled down and decided, as you saw in that clip, to stay in this race, and I think that's going to be to Republicans' detriment.
The thing that's so scary about Mark Robinson is he's the nominee for the Republican gubernatorial seat, but he's the current lieutenant governor. This guy's in elected office.
Yeah.
With mine, I'm going to go with some OG shit, which is Trump's attraction to Ivanka Trump, his own daughter. Let's unfortunately watch a clip.
At times, his fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
I said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop
You know what? You are sick.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
She's
unbelievable.
tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
If I ever use the word voluptuous in connection with my own daughter, please throw me off the top of a building. Or what? It's truly like, what is wrong with this man?
Yeah.
And he never stopped. I mean, there was reporting that Trump aides would complain that he would talk about Ivanka Trump's breasts, her backside, and what it might be like to have sex with her. This is from a book from, a couple years ago. Ugh. So this guy is just the creepiest creep of all time. I cannot understand what is wrong with him, or how anyone who hears this can ever look at him again and think he's someone they'd vote for.
And not to play the most tired game in politics, but can you imagine if any Democrat, if Joe Biden did 1/100th of what Donald Trump is saying?
Yeah, no, he wants to just... We're going to have to cut that. Probably have to cut that.
Probably have to cut that, he says. I'm going to lean into the recency bias yet again.
I know it.
And go with, who is Laura Loomer?
Of course, you know damn well. She was on your show the other day.
Do you know that I have 2 dogs? This is not just, some trash dog food from China, okay? These are supplements, and these are products that are so healthy and natural that you could actually eat it yourself. And I'm going to put this in my mouth right now. So it tastes like meat, and maybe that is disgusting to you. Actually tastes good. I'm not going to lie.
Just casually eating dog food for a sponsor.
Yeah, I do a lot of ad reads. Done some dog food ads in my day. Never been asked to eat dog food. Never would.
So Laura Loomer is a far-right activist. She's a conspiracy theorist. She gained notoriety for her outlandish protests. She handcuffed herself to the front doors of Twitter headquarters after being banned from that platform.
With, I believe, a Star of David on her.
Star of
she
David.
was being treated like a Jew during the Holocaust.
She is a 9/11 truther who accompanied Donald Trump to the 9/11 memorial on September 11th.
Hard to wrap your mind around that one. She's been on the campaign plane all the time. She's also friends with Nick Fuentes, who was the actual little right-wing Nazi who had dinner with Trump at Mar-a-Lago along with Kanye West. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks she is insane.
When Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying this person is too far right for my taste, I think you might have lost the plot. And yet that's who Donald Trump is surrounding himself with in this final sprint toward November.
Just hanging out all the time. I'm going to go with... this is tough. Marjorie Taylor Greene's national divorce proposal.
The tweet, went viral, and you say, America, what do we got here? We need a national divorce, and we need to separate by red states and blue states. You don't want us to break up, right? Was this just to get some sort of conversation going?
What I'm talking about is our policy difference on the left and the right couldn't be further apart. So many people I know, everyone I talk to is sick and tired of the left's policies being shoved down our throat. Everything from what they want to do at the border to their woke ideology to ESG, and we're sick and tired of it.
So let's unpack what she's talking about. She wants to split the country in half by political ideology. Brian, you might remember this thing called the Civil War. Are you familiar with this?
I am, yeah.
So it was bad. You often see estimates of between 620,000 and 750,000 soldiers killed in said war, which at the time was about 2% of the total population of the United States. So bad. Ended poorly for everybody. It turns out then that seceding is now unconstitutional, but she seems to very sincerely want this to happen. She wants to separate us by red states and blue states. She also floated the idea of red states being allowed to prevent Democrats who move to them from voting. So if you move to Texas, you can't vote for 5 years. This is her proposal, which is just full-on fascist.
Yeah. And also, I'm sure if Republicans move to blue states, the same rules wouldn't apply because
heads I win, tails you lose.
Because woke.
Yeah, woke.
Because ESG. Because DEI. Because CRT. That was a bad choice. One of the last on my list. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to lean on recency bias here. I'm going to go JD Vance in the donut shop.
Incredible.
Let's see a clip.
I'm sorry, babe. Okay, yeah. She doesn't want to be on film, guys, so just cut her out of anything. Appreciate that, man. I'm JD Vance. I'm running for vice president. Good to see you.
Okay.
How long are you working?
I've been here since the beginning of July.
Okay.
For this year.
Okay, good. How about you, sir?
Almost 2 years.
Okay, good. Just everything, yeah. I mean, a lot of glazed here, some sprinkle stuff, some of these cinnamon rolls, just whatever makes sense. How long has this place been around?
About 4 years.
About 4 years? Okay. How long have you been here?
A little over 6 months.
Okay, good.
First of all, what a failing of the advance team to have the biggest opponent of JD Vance working behind the counter and who says, I don't want to be on film. The whole point of this, ostensibly, for them filming in here is to try to use something out of it.
Right.
To show that he can connect with regular people. You could not have asked for a more hostile interaction if you tried.
So stilted and awkward, too.
It's also like, is this JD Vance's first day interacting with other human beings? Takes an audit of their employment history one by one?
Where you been? What do you make? What's your hourly?
Yeah. Do you have anybody in the back that I can ask how long they've worked here too?
Also, buddy, it's a donut shop. Just think of your order ahead of time.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be so hard. 12 glazed. With my next pick, I'm gonna go with Childless Cat Ladies, the obvious better of the JD Vance picks. I think we have a clip.
Look, what I was basically saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact.
If you take away only one thing from this show, Brian, I think it would be that comment helped encourage Taylor Swift to endorse Kamala Harris.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
She cited it in her Instagram post. So, well done, JD. But this dates back, as you saw there, is a 2021 interview with Tucker Carlson. Vance is complaining that the U.S. is run by Democrats, corporate oligarchs, and a bunch of, quote, childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices they've made, so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. Seems like a bit of projection. there from Mr. fucking fun guy in the donut shop telling us we're miserable. You can't even order a jelly donut and smile about it. You can't even be happy in a donut shop, you miserable prick. He also said that like people without kids shouldn't have full voting rights. This is crazy. It also like this strain of thought. It's like they didn't run away from it. They've adopted it.
No,
and now they're attacking Kamala Harris for not having biological kids of her own, even though she has stepkids who say she's a mom to them and they love her.
Right. It's the Roy Cohn model of never admitting fault. And Donald Trump has always leaned into it. JD Vance is leaning into it now. And now you're at a point where to your exact point, they're coming out. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is saying the same thing, where they're denying the motherhood of Kamala Harris because she doesn't have biological children. 40 to 50% of Americans are in blended families. It's like these people are finding the broadest swaths of Americans to insult and just doing it on a daily basis. Single people, people with cats, like people in blended families.
Taylor Swift fans.
Taylor Swift fans. I mean, I don't know what other demographic group or what other just interest group more broadly you could attack that would have a more cataclysmic impact than the groups that he's attacked.
Yeah, he's not good at politics.
Not good. Okay, for my next choice, I'm going to go with, I can't believe this one stayed here for so long because it's a really great one. Trump loves Hannibal Lecter.
I think Brian has a clip.
Hannibal Lecter. Anybody know Hannibal Lecter? We don't want him in this country.
Hannibal Lecter, right? This is Hannibal Lecter. Welcome to Hannibal Lecter, because we got a lot of them right now coming into our country and already came into our country.
Has anybody seen Silence of the Lambs? Hannibal Lecter, how great an actor was he? You know why I like him? Because he said on television, on one of the, I love Donald Trump, so I love him. I love him.
The late, great Hannibal Lecter, starring the late, great Hannibal Lecter, who eats people for breakfast.
Congratulations, the late, great Hannibal Lecter. That's Hannibal Lecter. Anybody ever hear of that nice gentleman?
The late, great Hannibal Lecter, starring the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Did he think Hannibal Lecter was played by Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, it's an autobiography. Yeah,
I think Donald Trump got confused because he heard about migrants claiming asylum.
Yes.
And in his addled brain, he found the quintessential asylum person, who is somebody who came from an insane asylum, who's a Hannibal Lecter, who's not a real person. And he said that once. And because he doesn't know how to admit fault, he just figured he had to double down, triple down, quadruple down, and to the point where he's made it part of his stump speech now because he just can't admit he was wrong, and so he has to pretend that he knew all along.
Trump seems to think that seeking political asylum, which is when you come to the border and you say, hey, if I go home, I will be in grave danger, is the same as escaping from an insane asylum, which is just a pretty fundamental misunderstanding of the entire immigration system, international law, the fact that words can mean two things.
Basic human concepts.
Just language, English. So he's struggling on a lot of levels here. Mediocre pick, Brian. I think we got to go with testicle tanning for my next pick.
Once a society collapses, then you're in hard times. Well, hard iron sharpens iron, as they say.
That's not homoerotic. Testicle tanning, red light therapy, bromiotherapy. It's apparently if you douse your balls with red LEDs.
Tommy's like, oh, it's apparently. I mean, I'm not sure. I can't speak from experience, but I'm reading here on this website.
There's got to be dozens of clinics that do this within a mile of us right now in Hollywood.
We are probably 100%. In the epicenter of
testicle tanning. So, but apparently these guys think that if you put red light on your testicles, you can create higher levels of testosterone. That might seem random, but actually all these alt-right activists have been saying for years that men in America are low T and that makes you liberal and weak. It's why they call us soy boys or this or that. It seems like the research says that if you just eat a little healthier and exercise, that's the way to get the testosterone up.
Yeah, but you listen to one 12-second segment from Alex Jones about frogs turning gay, and you'll ingest whatever he's hawking to you.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you watch the Ghostbusters movie with the all-female cast, you immediately need to just red light your balls. Correct. Is basically what they're saying.
Correct. Okay, for my last choice, I'm going to go with, put the nail in the coffin here against Tommy and go Singin Ted Cruz.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see.
That's not singing. It's not even close to singing.
I've never seen that before. That was horrible.
Yeah, I watched it earlier today.
There's nothing likable about Ted Cruz at all. Like, politics aside, he's so repellent as a human.
He is just like Elon Musk, in that they both are they so desperately want to be funny, but they are not. They have repellent personalities. They have no sense of humor. They pay people or hire them to be around them to laugh at their lame jokes. And then that shit comes out? What are we doing?
That was so bad. I think that was top 3 most cringeworthy things I've seen in like 5 years.
Imagine being his staffer and just being like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Did the singing thing. What are the 2 songs he's trying to mix?
It's Gilligan's Island and Amazing.
Okay.
Gilligan's
Island melody.
I mean, like, I just what a timely topical reference.
He used the Gilligan's Island melody for Amazing Grace.
With my final pick, really just a high value selection at this point in the draft. We got Lauren Boebert and her Shooter's Grill.
It is the end of the road for Lauren Boebert's Shooter's Grill and Rifle.
The Western Slope Republican representative will no longer run her business where it once was. The restaurant closed its doors Sunday. Continuing our coverage of Colorado at 6, Shooter's Grill gained notoriety when Boebert was campaigning. It was the only place that you could be served by a waitress with a handgun on her hip. The Colorado Sun reports the new landlord of the building decided not to renew the restaurant's lease. Boebert told the paper that she was shocked, but she might be eyeballing another building in Rifle. However, she said no promises. Boebert just won the Republican primary in June.
Who doesn't want to get your calamari served to you by someone armed and dangerous? I don't know that we picked the most outrageous or surprising headline about Lauren Boebert. You might remember the story about her vaping and getting a little handsy at a performance of Beetlejuice the musical.
Yeah.
And then pulling the whole "Do you know who I am?"
Oof.
when the usher was like, "Hey, could you stop jerking off your date at this family musical while you're blowing vape clouds into that pregnant lady's
Let the record
face?"
show I'm Lauren Boebert.
Listen, before that, she called Ilhan Omar a terrorist. On January 6th, she tweeted, "Today is 1776. She was a big QAnon fan, so not great. Not sending her best. I think she gets outshined by MTG for obvious reasons. Jewish space lasers being chief among them, but tough. Hey guys, it's Tommy, and I'm back to tell you about a game-changing product I use every night before I have drinks. It is ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. So we're about to go on tour for Pod Save America. We're going to go to Philly and Ann Arbor, Michigan. And if you've ever been to one of our live shows, they tend to be at night, they tend to be on weekends, and we have a drink or two. And the only way we can ensure that we wake up the next day feeling our best, ready to do another show, is to have a ZBiotics before we have our first drink. So go to zbiotics.com/rank to get 15% off your first order when you use the code RANK at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Thanks to ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol for sponsoring this video and our good times. Well, that's our draft. So now what we're going to do is a quick recap each of our selections to help you make your choice, which was me winning. Brian, you're up first.
This one's going to be an easy one. Let's start off with Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson of North Carolina. He's running to be the governor right now. Just days ago, we found out that he had been posting on a message board for a porn website saying that he was a black Nazi and advocating for slavery, and yet staying in the race. And the North Carolina GOP is defending him. This is what the party has become. Laura Loomer next. She is a Holocaust denier, a 9/11 denier who went with Donald Trump to the 9/11 memorial. She is attached to Donald Trump on the hip. Wonder why? JD Vance in the donut shop. This is an awkward person. People do not like him. He doesn't know how to do things that regular humans do in the world. Trump loves Hannibal Lecter. This guy is so deluded in his addled brain that he thinks migrants claiming asylum has something to do with a fictional character that came from an insane asylum, and yet now he's too proud to actually admit that he was wrong, so it's become a regular part of his stump speech where he advocates for Hannibal Lecter. And finally, this alone should do it. Singin Ted Cruz the most cringeworthy, repellent human being on the face of the earth, singing Amazing Grace to the theme of Gilligan's Island.
Are you done? I fell asleep for a bit.
I'm
listening
done.
to
That's
your
enough.
lame list.
Vote for me in the comments section right now.
There is nothing weirder than Donald Trump repeatedly talking about his sexual attraction to his own daughter. I feel weird saying it out loud, but that's what happened. Then we have MTG trying to foment a second civil war, which again was a bad idea. We have JD Vance insulting huge swaths of women in this country and helping convince Taylor Swift to endorse his opponent. Great work there, JD. We got Tucker Carlson wanting you to tan your balls so you don't become a liberal. That's where we're at. And then Lauren Boebert thinks your burger and fries will taste better if it comes with a side of hot lead. And then there's the whole Beetlejuice handjob thing.
Tommy, in the last episode, you didn't fare too well.
I got killed.
You got killed. And in fact, you lost 72-28.
What did I pick that was so bad?
All the wrong answers, just like on this one.
Top five.
Every single one was wrong.
Jesus Christ.
And so when anybody loses this game, they're hit with a punishment, and there is no punishment that I've been more excited for than this one right here. Tommy, I'm always so excited for September because it means the start of football, and I love football, and it's a really great time. And what's your favorite snack to enjoy with football usually?
Buffalo wings?
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Which is so crazy. And I thought we could all watch you enjoy something very similar to that right now. And so we have buffalo wing soda and ranch dressing soda.
Where did you get this?
And
what hell?
Since you're such an avowed fan, why not just enjoy them right here? We have a thing to open them.
What sick fuck makes this?
All right, Tommy. Ranch and buffalo wings.
I think you got to start with the buffalo, right?
You got to start with the buffalo.
You dip it in the ranch.
Correct. Yeah.
It's just so. Oh, there's a little kick. It's just so sweet. Oh, hold on, one some more.
Oh. Like, it smells way better than.
How did you find this? Whose idea was this?
We don't have all day to sit here and watch you finish your punishment, so you better drink up fast.
Drink all of this?
Yeah, this is the punishment, man. This isn't a taste test.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see.
Honestly, the wing one.
Yeah.
Okay. The ranch is the most disgusting thing I've ever had in a long time.
Yeah. It smelled akin to garbage juice.
Garbage juice, spoiled milk.
Yeah.
Trash bags.
Yeah. Well,
With
if y'all
sugar.
watching want to see Tommy suffer a fate equally as bad, please make sure to head to the community tab and vote for me. And don't forget to like and subscribe to see more.